Okay, so we have some updated price maps about what markets in the US are falling the most and the fastest. So we're going to go into that today too. And we're going to use that information coupled with the Fed expected to raise interest rates, as you can see right here, by 3/4 of a point, and then signal to slow pace. We're going to talk about what that means because that's going to happen today and how that's going to affect these already crashing housing markets all over the US. I'm Stephen Clark. I flipped over 100 houses and sold over 200 houses. So I'm going to give you my unique perspective on this. So we did a kind of a very popular TikTok. I think like 1.7 million people have watched it by now. But the point of the TikTok was where the housing markets are expected to crash the most. And we have updated numbers on that too. And you can see right here, this Fortune magazine map has been really kind of the main thing a lot of people have been using to look at the trends overall. And you can see some really interesting things that pop up from this, but this has actually been revised and updated as well. How much home prices are expected to fall in America's biggest housing market, according to Moody's revised forecast. And you can see right here that the dark purple is 25%. That is a very, very big drop. That is a very big drop, all the way to a single digit, if almost nothing drop. And you can see it's surrounded around popular, very frothy destinations over the last couple years. So as we know, Austin, the Florida kind of panhandle, the Florida itself in general, some of the places in the South and the West have gotten really, really frothy. What has not gotten so frothy would be like the Rust Belt, right? Through New England, through the Midwest. That is something that is not expected to crash as much. We have actually the top 20. So I'm going to show you the top 20, but we know that these are already bad, right? And the mortgage purchase applications are down 41.81% on a year-over basis. So this is the biggest housing contraction since 2007 already. And I can kind of see this in my own personal house flipping thing. So just a little tangential story for you. I had 3 listed on the market, and they were as good of quality, if not better, than what we have been doing for the last 5 or 6 years. And they were priced based off of the comps. They were priced high, but they were priced directly based off the comps. And usually, by the time you list it, we would have something between like 10 and 20 showings in the first week. And by that time, we would probably have two to three offers, maybe even 4, right? You could pretty much list whatever and just get all kinds of interest and money for it, basically. And so now we have listed those things, and the days on market have gone from 7, all the way to 30, 40. We've gotten maybe 2 offers in the 40 days. We've had maybe 10 to 20 showings over the entire 40 days. So the market is definitely softening, and you can really see it. Now, I know it's location dependent for sure. I know it's based off the area, but this is a very strong market that I flip into. And this is just kind of following this trend and based off of the thousands and thousands of those little TikTok comments that we get, you can see it's really happening everywhere too. So as of Friday, the average 30-year fixed mortgage rate sat at 7%, which is very high. We haven't seen that since 2002. It's contributing to the downside of the revision of the home prices too, with U.S. home prices will fall 10% between peak to trough, they said. So 10%, once again, nationwide. That's on a macro level. That means a lot more are going to be worse than that. It means a lot more are going to be better than that. So you just got to be careful. And this is really prominent information if you are looking to buy or sell. That's one of the main questions on those TikTok videos and on these videos too. Hey, I'm in X market, should I buy or sell? Hey, I'm in this market, should I buy or sell? And we'll get to that in a second. But let's look at some of these 322 regional housing markets. So it expects 196 markets to see a price home decline of greater than 10%. That includes Tennessee with a 26% decline, places in Michigan 25%, Boise, Idaho 23%, Flagstaff, Arizona 21%. And you can see that there's smallest declines come to Montgomery, Alabama, 1.4%, Erie, Pennsylvania, 2.3%, Gainesville, Florida, 3%. They said the housing activity declined to bottom out in the coming months. The home price correction, which started this summer, could take years to play out. They said, historically speaking, home prices are stickier as sellers hold on until a supply glut forces them to lower their prices. This time around, however, things are less sticky. Sellers are willing to sell. They realize they're not getting the price I could have gotten a few months ago, but it's still much higher than I could have gotten 3 years ago. So I feel like they're doing okay. And that's very, very true. Now, I will say now's the time for me personally. Once again, I want to weave a little bit of stories into this too, just to see kind of what's happening on the ground, right? I think that's kind of something that not a lot of YouTubers can talk about because they're not really in the business of flipping or whatever. So I will say this is a pretty interesting opportunity to buy, fix up, but not flip. Buy, fix up, and refinance out. So something called the BRRRR method, right? So this is what I'm doing on a particular property, and I'm buying it, fixing up, and I'm going to refinance it. Now, yes, the 7% is much higher than I would have paid, a couple months ago, but it's going to be much lower than I'm going to pay in the next couple months, I do believe. And also, the home prices are still being appraised at pretty high levels, right? So the prices are dropping right now, but it's not really reflected in the appraisals prices. Like, we're still getting high appraisals. The appraisals have not dropped, in my opinion, from what I've seen. So I think they will, but I think this is a good time to get a high appraisal, way better than in the coming months. So Fortune has said that these bubbly and frothy markets will be the most high risk for price corrections, as we can see right now. And we see the U.S. does not slip into a recession. The unemployment rate, we're going to be above 6%. But let's look at some of these. Here's how they rank, right? For the 896 regional U.S. housing markets, including the Zillow Home Value Index, 121 saw price declines between May and September. Of those, 19 markets saw home prices decline over 5%. Here's how they rank: San Jose, California; Austin, Texas; San Francisco; Santa Cruz; Boulder, Colorado; Kalispell, Montana; Salt Lake City, Utah; Phoenix, Arizona; Los Angeles; Boise, Idaho as the top 10, all the way down to Breckenridge and Carlson City. So we can see right there that is a significant price drop that we have here, and something that I think if you kind of were to take this into account, you could see that they will get worse, right? You can see that they will continue, as the Federal Reserve hikes rates up, that they will continue to be seeing these declines. So I think they could just get worse. Like they said, some could predict a 20 to 25% decline. So that's really, really good for buyers. And I've already seen, just in Los Angeles, where I am at currently, but moving to Charleston, South Carolina again. No, I've already split time there, but I'm going back anyway, not that you care. But you can already see there's an increase of price drops. There's an increase of houses on the market. So things are in a transitional shifting period right now. If you are trying to get a high appraisal, now's still the time to do it, in my opinion. If you're trying to buy, though, I think that 3 to 6 months, you're going to really see a massive difference in what is able to be purchased and your options of purchasing. You'll have a lot more options, which I think is just really, really cool. So head down to the links in the bio. You can work with me personally, and you can just email me. I'll give you a rate. I can do some one-on-one coaching. It's not a big money-making enterprise. I make way more money house flipping and on YouTube, not on this channel, but on other ones. So it's more something I do for fun. And if I'm going to give you my time, you're going to have to pay for it. But I do enjoy really, really talking about real estate, and I geek out on it. So it would be something I would talk about anyway. So it's a pleasure to coach people. I've coached people for many, many years, so it's a pleasure to coach them. It's fun, right? Even though it's not like a great, it's not a good return on your investment as a coach, like for your time. You're changing time for money, and it's not really scalable. But it doesn't matter. I don't do it to be scalable. I do it because it's fun. I do it because I would talk about that anyway, and I just like being around like-minded individuals that are starting out on the real estate journey, or already into their real estate journey, or have a couple questions. So if you want a little bit of coaching, I do think now is the time to really, really, really make a great name for yourself in real estate. I think it could definitely happen, and it's a bad time for a lot of people right now, but there's always opportunity, and this is where I think the real millionaires in real estate are really, really made, and I think this could be really, really great. So grab yourself some coaching and just shoot me an email, and we can talk about it.